Hi, my name is Carl Batzel, and I'm a Macaholic. I was introduced to the Mac by one of my friends in a band that was a bass player, and after a rehearsal one day, he asked me if I was in computers, and I said, I know nothing about computers. I work in a warehouse and fill orders. He came in with an old little Mac SA-20, and he set it down, and he fired up MacPaint and Illustrator. It was like a light bulb went off on my head where I said, computers can be used for creative purposes. And it was something I got really good at and adapted to. It's almost like, you know, a carpenter, the first time he picked up a piece of wood, he knew that that was going to be his future. I think with an Apple product, you get emotionally attached to it. So, like, I didn't want to give away some of these things. One of my friends basically looked around and said, man, you got enough here to make a museum. And so the idea just came to myself, why don't I display these and give them some love still and let people come and look at them, because I'm a big proponent of knowing where you come from can really help you to know where you're going. Kind of like how people are passionate about Harley Davidsons, I was passionate about Apple, and it was funny because I ended up getting all my family and all my neighbors and anybody who needed a computer, I got them an Apple computer. Apple changed my life way before it was even cool to be Apple. I mean, I was in the Apple many, many years before even Apple retail existed, when it was basically like a cult of users. That's when I got kind of indoctrinated into the Apple Kool-Aid, I guess you could say. My neighbors and family members thought it was so odd for me to kind of like look up to a brand like a computer brand, or like to Steve Jobs, who I, you know, religiously read on and admired, and you know, this company. And also I supported this company when it was 6 months away from going bankrupt. It was really funny. One of the Macs that I bought from Best Buy, the salesman told me, like, hey, listen, you don't want to buy that computer. This company is going to be out of business in 6 months. You know, I got some Windows machines here that are top of the line and cheaper. And I was like, no, I want this Mac right now. In fact, I want to pay the $500 extra to get 8 more megabytes of RAM in it. And that's what it was back then. And so, you know, that's one of the reasons why I love Apple. Well, you know, I sit around here in my office and I'm surrounded by these old Macs, and a lot of them have sentimental value to me. I love thinking of this room as a place to like take your old Mac and put it on display and have people look at it and love it again. I mean, one of the cool things about these computers in my office is that I can show you like operating system from 6 to 7 to 8 to 9, 4 different flavors of OS X on here. And I think it's interesting to see the progression of technology from like when 7.5 came out, and then the leap it took all the way when 10 came out. I was actually a beta user for OS X, and you know, there wasn't even print drivers for that then, but that was the future. I don't know how long I'm going to collect Macs for, because really this office is basically full right now, so it would have to be a very special Mac to come in here. It needs to mean something to me. One of my friends at work, AP, had a 12-inch G4 Powerbook, you know, sitting in his closet once again, and he came up to me and asked me if I would be interested in it, because he didn't have anything to do with it and he wanted to go to a good home. I told him, Anthony, I said, listen, it's still yours. If you ever need it, you can have it back. But you know what? Let me put it on display, and you know what? It'll be turned on and it'll be dusted and people will ooh and ah about it. And he said, Carl, he goes, I wanted to give it to you strictly for that reason. You know, once again, I feel technology can be cold. It's really just, you know, either plastic or glass or metal. And just purchasing that plastic and metal and glass does not enrich your life at all. It's really the software that's the magic. It's how the human interfaces with that machine. We see every day people frustrated with technology. It's not until you know how to use it, or use it to help you, or to help you with your passion, is when it truly enriches your life. So I'm a big fan of not only keeping up with all the new technology and software, but also passing my knowledge on to others. I think that's really the magic behind it. I have a lot of friends, a lot of family members, a lot of coworkers. They go, I heard you got a museum. And I say, you know what? It's like my office in my home. And yeah, I got a lot of cool little geeky stuff from Apple, but everybody's always welcome to come in here and look at it. I can talk for hours on this stuff. So whoever wants to come over, hey, give Danny a call, come on over, and maybe we'll have a beer or two and talk about Macs. I can talk about that all night.